Thank you for those two beautiful testimonies. You always know that you're talking about a remarkable person when the testimonies just flow as easily as they are flowing here this morning already. I visited Dutch a few hours before he died, and it was around 7:30, 8 o'clock in the evening, and we gathered at his bedside, and we sang some songs. We sang some patriotic songs, and we had a prayer together, and he said, I'm way ahead. I'm way ahead. And I remember that very distinctively, and a few hours later, the Lord called him home, and he definitely was way ahead. I'd like to take just a few moments. We really hope and pray that you will share with each other after the services around the lunch table downstairs in Fellowship Hall the stories that you have about Dutch. But I would like to take a few moments just to see if anybody has a short thought or memory about Dutch that you would like to share. And maybe I would start with anybody from the immediate family. Does anybody have something, a short thought? Yes. There you go. I'm sorry. Okay, thank you.
Yes, good morning, everybody. Dutch was my uncle, and that was my mom's brother. I've joined hunting camp probably in the late 90s, and we would sit around, and the other guys would be out hunting, and I would just sit down and we'd talk about family and hunting trips, and just those memories will never leave my heart. So one good memory I do have, he did tell me a story. Him and his buddy were out hunting. This one stuck me forever. They were hunting, and Dutch shot a deer, and the deer went down. So they walked up to the deer, and his buddy Fuzz already shot a deer. So here the deer decides to get up, and Dutch grabbed the horns, and away they went down over the hill. And Dutch he's hollering to his friend, shoot it, shoot it. And the guy said, well, I already shot my deer. And finally Dutch got him into a tree where he pinned the horns, and the other guy finally shot the deer. And we just laughed. He told that story so many times. And one other story. We have a good camp, and we have good members, and we were up playing cards late one night, and we didn't see Dutch leave the camp. So we're getting ready to go to bed, and we shut the lights off and everything, and we're in bed like 10 minutes, and all of a sudden we hear this banging on the side of the camp, and we can't figure out what it was. Turn the lights on. Here, we went to bed. We didn't realize Dutch went to the outhouse. And we turned the lights out. Now, this camp is in the middle of nowhere, and there's no lights. If it's cloudy, you cannot see in front of your hand. So he's banging on the house. We're scattered. What's going on? Who's outside? We open the door. We turn the light on. There's Dutch. He was in the bathroom, and we turned the lights out. Now, he was not happy, but all of us find a little bit of humor in that because, we were playing cards. We had a couple cocktails, and Al was there. And it's just, that stuck to me. And like I said, He's in my heart and soul, and I'm going to miss him dearly. Thank you.
Amen. Amen. Maybe a thought from over here. Somebody have a story? Yes. God bless you. And again, I hope these stories get bannered about at lunchtime.
Hi, everybody. My name's Tracy. For those of you who don't know, I was one of the 4 ladies that took care of Earl. And for close to 7 years, the Miller family placed their trust in me as I cared for their father. And as time went on, taking care of Uncle became less of a job I was hired to do and more like a daily visit with an old friend. A friend that shared his life experience, his vast knowledge on a various number of subjects. And Uncle extended his kindness and friendship to my husband, Mark. They would discuss sports, Mark's bowling league, and birds, of course. My husband enjoyed going in the backyard with Uncle to feed the birds. Uncle gave Mark 2 bird feeders and told him to take them home and to feed the birds. Needless to say, the birds that visit our yard now are well-fed birds thanks to Uncle. Elaine, Gary, and Nancy, I want to thank you for being so good to me and treating me like a member of your family. In the early hours of Wednesday morning, I lost a friend, but I've gained an enormous amount of memories that will be with me forever. Thank you.
Thank you for that. That's beautiful, and thank you for your care, and the family loves you so much. Amen. Anybody else? Yes, God bless you, brother. Sure.
So I'm Steve Weiss, and I just wanted to say a couple of words. Obviously, Dutch was an important person in our lives, and you all know my sister. You know, you talked to Dutch and you came away feeling happy. He calmed you. And, you know, whenever you'd say, hey, how are you? You'd say, I'm way ahead. I never heard anybody say that before, you know? And I thought about it, and we all know he was way ahead. He was way ahead when he was able to come home from his service. Certainly way ahead, met and married his lovely wife, Owen. Certainly way ahead with respect to the 3 kids and grandkids that he had. Obviously, you know, I look at it this way. Yeah, he was way ahead when he got to meet my sister, and she became Gary's wife. And, you know, he treated our family, and he really brought us together. He accepted us, the Weiss family. And Mama Ada, who really adored and revered him, and Eric as well. You know, there's stories I could tell you, and we all remember them with my dad, who's passed away in Dutch. And they'd sit around and we'd get over for dinner, and you guys in the kitchen didn't miss much with the men talk, but we were out there, and, you know, my dad and Dutch would always be focused on, well, what are we eating for dinner? And mostly what they were focused on was what they were having for dessert. They all had more than one plate, and it was always something to see. So, yeah, we're going to miss Dutch. We're mourning him. You know, we love Dutch. He was a gentle and kind person. Certainly, you know, he had a distinguished record in the military. And, you know, throughout life, you know, the only thing I can tell you is that we were way ahead for knowing him.